Guys, my name is Todd. I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Todd. We love you, Todd. Lots and lots and lots. Oh, bunches.
You know what? There was a time when if you guys had shouted at me like that and you'd pulled out my name like that, I had gone into a real bad place. But you guys changed me, man. My diagnosis as a 16-year-old kid is schizophrenia, schizoaffective psychotic. Right? Thank you. That's cool. And I can't believe that I'm standing here with you right now, but I'm going to tell you straight up, without question, there is no place that I would rather be than right here with you tonight. No place, you know? Hey guys, I want to just say a few things so I can get right into it, because I really have it in my spirit and my heart to connect with you. I want to say this. I also have a sobriety date. It's June 3, 1993. And I have a sponsor. He's an old dude. You know what I mean? And his name. But here's the funny part. Freddie's got 42 years sobriety. He has a dude older than him sponsoring him. And then there's a dude sponsoring him. That dude's on God's doorstep, bro. I need to make a phone call. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, and all my I love the fact that I know my sponsor has a sponsor who has a sponsor, and that's been going on from old Indian to old Indian, all the way from June 10th of 1935 to me, and you guys kept it sacred, and you kept it true, and you kept it honest for them in the first 164 pages. You didn't change that. You added personalities and dimensions, and you added age groups, and you added other concepts and individuals so that I could relate to you, but you didn't change the core way we get sober and stay sober. And because you didn't do that, I was able to get sober. You know? I have a home group. I have the best home group. What? Okay, I'll challenge you right now. I don't know who your home group is, man, but I have the best home group. It's a dude's home group, man. It's called the Robbers Roost. It's a group of Hells Angels, Mongos, Vagos, like say La M.A., you know, some Marines, some Navy snipers, and some painters. You know what I mean? Like, and trust me, as you get to know me, you understand. I fit, you know, and that's been my home group for like 20 years, you know. So, and I have a big book, and it's precious to me, but it's fallen apart, man. You know, and it's tore up, and it's got coffee on it, and it's highlighted, and it's bound in leather, and that's what's keeping it together, you know. And I have stacks of journals, man, stacks of journals where I daily document my life, you know. And I have a home group, I have sobriety date, I have a sponsor, I have a God of my understanding, I have all these things, and these are really not just gifts, they're tools, you know. They are the lattice that's been put together that's helped me get right here, right now, with you tonight, where I'm supposed to be. You know, and if you read that book enough, you're going to find a page or a paragraph or a part of it that's going to talk to you. It's going to kind of be like your mantra. Mine is on page 63, and it says, "When we sincerely took such a position, all sorts of remarkable things followed." Now, I don't know what remarkable is defined by you as. I have alcoholism. I have no idea what you have. I have alcoholism. And alcoholism, if it's active in me and it says it's time to drink tonight, I'm drinking. I don't have a decision in it. I'm going to go drink. And then it will tell me how much to drink. And then it'll tell me when it's done with me. And then it'll tell me to go sit tight and wait for directions, right? But alcoholism just doesn't tell me when it's time to drink. Alcoholism tells me what you meant by that. You know what I mean? Alcoholism will tell me, let's just watch 15 hours of Netflix tonight. We're going to watch all of Spartacus. You know what I mean? Alcoholism tells me I should date her. It'd be a great idea. Alcoholism tells me to grow my hair out like Winger and marry a stripper and move to Oklahoma. Right? Alcoholism tells me to spend the rent money, go to Disneyland. Alcoholism tells me I don't need that damn job. I'm going to win the lottery. Alcoholism tells me I'm better than you. Alcoholism tells me it's time to die. See, alcoholism's in charge of my thoughts, my actions, my will. See, like, just taking alcohol out of me does not arrest alcoholism. I'm at the mercy of alcoholism. But here's a cool thing, man. Alcoholism would never give me permission to be in here with you. See, the ability to abolish its control is in here. It would not allow me to be in here with you. So something bigger than alcoholism had to come in and stop that just for this time that we're together. And as long as I read a little, write a little, pray a little, and help a little, I'm going to continue to access whatever that is that allowed me to be with you. That's it. That's a mental patience mantra right there. Read a little, write a little, pray a little, help a little, go to bed. And while I sleep, I'm changed just a little. And then when I wake up, I just make a decision. Do I want to read a little, write a little, pray a little, help a little, and go to bed? That's it. You know, another way I define remarkable is that diagnosis is valid. See, I used to scrape my face with razor blades, man. I used to get dressed in the dark, sweat the bed, sleep in the fetal position, hearing the trees talk. I never looked at myself in a mirror. You know, I had odd facial tics. If you get up here, you'll see me once in a while count my fingers. That's a part of a process for me. I could hear you, and if I also had this condition of constantly not daydreaming of suicide. I was attempting continuously, pervasively. And I discovered a new tool. Like if you looked at me too long, I started to get a feeling that you want to hurt me, and I would turn that into a desire to kill you. You know what I mean? And I was speaking at a conference in Canada. Homeskillet was looking at me just like you, dude. And and I was like, and if you look at me too long, I was going to kill you. Bro was like, shit. You know what I mean? I'm much better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's cool. Oh, come on, man. You think Alcoholics Anonymous is about not drinking? Alcoholics Anonymous is about change. See, the man that I was needed to drink. The man that I am doesn't need to. I don't need to take alcohol to be a new man. I need to take alcohol to begin the process of becoming the new man. That is a psychic change. My entire revolution of my mind. I become a whole new human being. I haven't thought of killing any of you. Yeah, man, let's keep it up, you know. And anybody? And you guys are Arizona. This is the funniest thing to ask. Like, anybody know where Mesa, Arizona is? Mesa, what? Mormons. Okay, so dude, I grew up in Mesa, Arizona. I'm a California kid, but I was homeless in Pioneer Park. Okay. Yeah, right across the street from the Mormon Temple. You guys know where Pioneer Park? Okay, used to be a plane and a train in that park, okay? I used to sleep in the fuselage of that plane, you know? And you guys, you have to picture, you guys know what a Huffy is? I had a badass little girl's Huffy, dude, little light stickers and stuff and shit on it, and all my junk in gray garbage bags. Dude, I was 137 pounds. I look like a used Q-tip, okay? Dude, I used to wear white parachute pants. You could see my underwear through it. I had a trench coat. I had a mullet. Dude, I look good. I look like a Grim Reaper super tweaker pumping up and down Main Street. You know what I mean? I was the dude when you came up. I feel better because there's that. You know what I mean? Like I'm the barometer, you know? So, hey, look, I'm going to share my story with you, but I'm quite apt to give you my opinion, you know? And so I'll probably offend at least 70% of you. So if I offend you or get you mad for any reason, I just strongly encourage you to get a piece of paper and a pen. You make 4 columns. Now, you write my name down. That's 2 Ds, bro. And then you ask yourself what I did that pissed you off, find out what instinct was threatened by that. You pray for me, find your part, and get over it. I'm an ex-homicidal, suicidal Mormon virgin dork that lived in a park, dude. And, yay, I'm your speaker. You know what I mean? And it's Max's fault. He invited me. I have odd facial tics when I was a kid, and slightly sheltered. And so I brought a lot of negative attention on me. I've been stabbed. I've been thrown in a dumpster. I've been thrown in a trash can upside down. I was thrown off a building. I've been beaten. I've been called all those names. This is not like random. This is my life. This is daily. This is pervasive. And I had a psychotic break in Scottsdale. I was at Saguaro High School there, and I got thrown down the bus steps, down and hit the curb with my face by Matt Kelly. And he threw my backpack on me, and he said a word, and I thought I heard that word, but all I heard was laughter. And I just lay there stunned, and I was blood was coming out of my mouth, and I just laid there in shock. And the bus driver asked me to take my feet off the steps. He needed to close the door so he could drive away. So I just pulled my knees into my chest, and the bus drove away. Now, when the bus drove away, I got up very different than I went down. See, when I went down, I was daily planning your death, and that's how I survived. I can kill you, man. So I can get my dad's gun and I can shoot you dead. And that just helped me feel comfortable. But when I got up, I was no longer considering it. I was done. I had a break. And so I'm going to go home. I'm getting my dad's 357. I'm walking 2.1 miles to Matt's house. I'm going to shoot him dead on his doorstep. Then I'm going to shoot me. Then you can see what you guys have been doing to me, you know? And on my way there, you know, I have to, man, we only had 3 records in my house, dude. We had the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, John Denver, Rocky Mountain High, and a pirate copy of Jesus Christ Superstar. That was my rock, dude. I'm virgin territory, you know what I mean? So, like, on my way there, I saw a cigarette, like a half-mushed old Marlboro on the ground, sun-baked thing, like flattened. I was like, I'm committing murder. I'm going to try some little things on the way out, little puppet. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going out, gangsta, you know? So I picked up that cigarette, got some kitchen match, and sparked that, and got my first, like, nicotine buzz. I was like, oh, I'm loaded. And something must have changed in me because David came up on me right when I got off the roof, and he was like, had that long black Arapaho hair. He had the Ozzy Osbourne Bark at the Moon album shirt on. He's like, hey, you want to smoke something? I'm like, yeah, I'm a smoker, bring it, you know? And we watched Mr. Rogers and laughed. And then I went to McCormick Ranch, and I went to my first party, dude. And I didn't know what this was. Like, it's my night of discovery, you know? And I walk in. That's the very first. As I walk in, I hear that Danzig. You know what I mean? Metallica, Megadeth, Kiss, like devil music. And I remember like going, like, I like it. You know what I mean? Like, and then I noticed there's like no adult supervision. There's no opening prayer. And what is this, dude? I remember chick comes running by me in a bra. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. You know what I mean? What party is this? You know, and you guys know what Everclear is, right? Because it's apparently inappropriately illegal to drink here, dude. And they're pouring it in like Hawaiian punch. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but we're going to find out later. And then I went over to this big barrel thing, and I pumped it, and I filled my... Dude, I had a head on my beer like that. Now, you have to picture me, right? First off, I'm wearing a V-cut black shirt with zippers on it with these salty arms and says, woo, and that mullet, my parachute pants, and some Velcro Pumas, okay? And I'm feeling good about myself. And... I'm sitting there with that, and when I did my first step with my first sponsor, he had me read the first 8 pages of Bill's story and identify where I thought, felt, and drank like Bill. And straight up, he talks about ignoring the strong warnings and prejudice concerning drink. I'm supposed to sell Jesus, apparently, door to door in Guam. I'm not even supposed to have Pepsi, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm killing Matt. We're going down, you know what I mean? So, like, I let that beer come through that foam and hit me. It was like, bam! It was like, see, I have no idea what your first night of drinking was like. Man, that first drop just took me immediately to a place called I Like It Like That. You know what I mean? And it switched me on, and the Irish came out. You know what I mean? And I'm dancing to More Stay in the Time, you know. And I'm doing shots of gin. I'm doing shots of like vodka. And I tried a couple of shots of Everclear. That hurt, you know. And but I'm good at drinking, man. And words are coming out of my face, and people are laughing, you know. And then I remember going into the bathroom going, yeah. Like, there was a certain amount of alcohol that made this all work, dude. And it must have worked good, too, because Denise Johnson came up on me. I got lit, low, and late my very first day. That's a powerful experience for a virgin, homicidal, suicidal woman. Give me a yeah. Hell yeah, that was a great night in my life. Dude, I was at a meeting, and it was like, I would never trade the worst day of sobriety for the best day of drinking. F you. You can't have that night, bro. The greatest night of my life, man. I wanted that night to go on forever in a loop, you know what I mean? And good news for Matt, I totally forgot to kill him. Dude, you want to get me drunk. It should be a city ordinance. I am a menace, but the moment you put alcohol in me, I straighten out. I don't understand when you say I drink to escape. I drink to be a part of. I drink so I can understand how to connect with you. If you take pre-party drinks, you're drinking to be a part of. If you take drinks before going to the bar, you're drinking to be a part of. If you're sitting in your car before you go in, you're drinking so that you can be a part of. I drink to be a part of life. See, nobody ever came up on me and said, wow, you have potential. You know, they were just proud he's still alive. You know, and so I know I'm not going to have a good life, man. I just want a life worth living. There's got to be at least one person in this room that recognizes what that means. Just give me a life worth living. It's not going to be a good one. It's not going to be a long one. It's going to be full of jail and shoplifting and bad decisions, right? But I'm going to have a life worth living before I go. See, I'm a creature when I drink. I made a decision right there and then. Okay, fine. You can have me. You can take me. I don't care, man. I don't care about my morals. I don't care. There's no future. I don't care about that God thing. It's all mythology. I'm not going to have somebody 1,000 years from now going, oh, look what he believed. You know what I mean? Like, I am just done. I am done with my family. I don't care about anything that happens tomorrow. I want a life worth living tonight. So alcohol and I made a deal. As long as you give me a life worth living, I'm there. And I changed, man. Alcohol and I changed together. My hair grew out like Gene Simmons, you know, and I have all this black, and I got swag now. But I'm still 15. I remember coming up on my mom going, hey, yo, I need the car because I'm going to go party. And my mom's like, I don't know what party means, but you're not taking the car? You're 15? My mom takes half a Valium so she can get some rest at night. So I crushed 3, and I put in a Prescott and knocked her ass out, right? Whatever. Never thought of it. So I sat real still, you know what I mean? Like, and then I went out and I partied till like 5 in the morning. At 10 o'clock, my mom's, I slept so good. 3, good night. That's your dose. I will drug you, dude. I'm a shoplifter, man. I will rob anything and take anything I can. I only buy the bread. I am going to go for it. Do not let me sit next to your girlfriend. I'm going to take a chance. Do not let me in your bathroom without adult supervision. I am going to take everything I see. I am the guy that makes up fake accents. Bro, I was in Newport 5 in Tustin, and I walked up and said, can I have a beer? And the girl's like, is that a southern accent? Well, what? This? You know what I mean? And that worked out great, because apparently that's what she's into. But the problem was I fell in love with her that night. So the next day, I'm like, hi. You know, I dated her for 6 months and pretended I was from Bentonville. Dude, I have kick-ass jobs at Kentucky Fried Chicken, Burger King, Taco Bell. I got fired from Wendy's in a day, dude. Okay. Look, man, and I could go on and on about all the escapades and all the big moments of drinking and how I burned off my eyebrows. And that one time I woke up and said, I hope that's a chick. You know what I mean? I've had some big nights. Whatever. So, I mean, the point is it's not about all that. Here's what makes me an alcoholic. I take a drink. I cannot accurately predict what's going to happen next. And even though it'd be a good idea that I don't take that first drink, I don't know how to do that. See, as a matter of fact, if all you got for me is don't drink no matter what, I don't want anything to do with it. You need to give me something better than my alcohol to encourage me to do something I know for a fact is impossible to do. You have to have something better, right? And so I just didn't hear it, man. So I moved from Arizona to Huntington Beach because Arizona was getting hot, you know. And, dude, I've been arrested so often it's a mode of transportation. You know what I mean? So but when I got back to Huntington Beach, I brought me, and in a short story, I ended up in my walk-in closet in Seacliff with a 38 special in my mouth, just daring myself to pull the trigger one more night. And I finally, after 10 years, man, I'm 25 years old, I said a prayer. And this is the only prayer I could say. You're going to have to stop me. That's it. Because I can't stop me. You're going to have to stop me. That's it. That was my prayer. And I got stopped. I got arrested that night for drinking too much. What a wussy charge. You know what I mean? You can't brag to your dudes. Yeah, man, spent 4 hours on the inside. You know what I mean? Like, they sentenced me to 2 meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous and only took 1. It's not took 1 because I'm special or significant or even lucky. It took 1 because of June 2 of 1993. June 2 was so horrifying, so demoralizing, so life-threatening, so shameful that I woke up on June 3 with the open mind. But here's the problem. I'm a mental patient, man. So I show up at a place called Howe Hall in Huntington Beach, California. You guys know where that's at? It was on beach in Atlanta way back when, and I showed up about a half an hour early on a Thursday night, and I figured maybe I'll give you guys a try, see what's up. But I'm walking in, and I'm already sweating, and I'm nervous. And you got like a little to-do list on the wall, man. You got like little Goodwill chairs, smells like cat pee in there. And and then you got little blue Bible stacked in the backs, kind of got that thing going on. And then you got some old dude, some palsy shake old guy on God's doorstep, just scooping coffee, bro. Just scooping, and nobody's slowing him down. You know what I mean? Like, and I walked back to the old dude, and I said, hey, bro, I'm crazy. I need to get this signed. And will you help me? Hey, man, if you're new and you don't want to get sober in AA, do not say that to an old person, because that translates to, will you be my sponsor? That's what that means. The old guy's named Carl, and he sounded like Arnie. He goes, sit down, you know. You know what I mean? And he was awesome for me. He sat me down, and I'm watching you guys, man. I'm trying to figure out what your thing is. And you guys got little nicknames like Stinky Pete and Big Book Bob, man. And you got little speeches you practice in front of the mirror. Like, you know, all day long you practice so you can get ready for your big moment, you know. And you got little one-liners like let go and let something, you know, and you quote your little blue Bible thing, man. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, crap, it hit me, okay? See, I understand how you guys stay sober. See, what you go forehead to forehead. I don't want to drink if you don't drink. I don't want to drink if you don't drink. You call me every day, and I'll call you every day. We'll call each other every single day. We'll hang out with each other every single day. Read the book every single day. We'll say the same crap every single day. Go to the meeting every single day. Get rid of your friends. Get rid of your friends. Dude, that's a cult. And I wasn't in the mood for cult sign-up day. You know what I mean? And then this kid next to me is so super sober. He's so fired up. He's like, oh, it's so pretty and beautiful. When we get done, we hold hands and pray. I'm like, kill you. You know, you're not gonna touch me, okay? I don't want you to, you're not touching me, all right? I don't want anything to do with this thing, right? I can't understand what alcoholism is. I don't see why you guys are so happy at it. I certainly don't understand why you will clap at anything. You can say little bunny fuzzy slipper nipple. You're like, yay, oh yeah! That touched me, bro. That touched me. You know what I mean? I don't get it. So I am not leaving AA. I'm running out in sheer horror, okay? I'm going to Lucky John's. I'm going to shoot pool. I'm going to find something chickish, you know what I mean, and have a good night. Whatever. Been open-minded, bro. And so as I'm leaving AA, Carl, this is when good 12-step sobriety shows up. See, he didn't win the old-timer award for telling a new dude to sit down. He knew I had alcoholism. I don't know what that is. I'm terrified. A miracle has happened. A remarkable event has happened. I've been allowed to sit with you for an hour. And if I do nothing, I'm going to walk out into the embrace of alcoholism. So he got between me and the door, man. He linebacked, you know. He got right there. And he handed me a book. You get the book. I thought we all got one, you know what I mean? And then he asks for my address. Now, I was court ordered to be with you, so I didn't know if it was illegal to give him the fake one, so I gave him my real address. And then he gave me a key, and you guys get little happy buttons for doing special things. So I thought this was like my key to life or something, you know what I mean? And then he goes, what time you get off work tomorrow? And I'm like, bro, you ask for a lot of information for an anonymous program. And he goes, we elected you the coffee maker. I'm like, what? You know, what are you talking about? He was like, yeah, you need to be here 30 minutes early every Thursday for the next 6 months and make coffee. Now, I don't know if you've never made coffee before, but I don't know how this happened, but suddenly I went, I'm going to make the best damn coffee they ever had. You know, because I worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken for like 6 weeks. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden I'm so fired up to be your coffee guy that I didn't go to Lucky John's. I went to Vaughn's. And I filled my car up with like so much coffee crap, and I drive home. And at one time, now, I live in an unsober, sober living environment. It's me and 4 dudes in a house by the beach. You with me so far? So I was at a meeting one time. This girl was at a treatment center. She's like, hey, you know, Sarah, she drank a whole bunch of NyQuil, and it got her loopy, and that triggered me. So I smoked meth. Sorry that happened to you. That must have been a tough moment, scary moment. You come home to my house, man, it's like strip pool all night long. My house, you put your cigarettes out in the shaggy carpet. We have a sofa made out of cases of beer. We have 3-foot water bongs / lamps in my house, okay? Do you understand? We have a head of lettuce, I'm not sure if it's still lettuce, and a whole bunch of alcohol. And it's going off all night long. I come with a coffee crap, and they're like, how was your AA meeting? I just run right past them, dude. I go up in my bedroom, slam the door, and hide. See, I got to make your coffee. I got to stay sober, apparently, you know? And I woke up the next day 24 hours sober, like going, damn, you know? Super sober, you know what I mean? Like, all fired up, like I'm 25. When I'm 75 years old, I'll be 50 years sober. That's like a record, right? You know what I mean? And I seen you. I figured I could rule you, you know what I mean? And also, I was pretty happy for you to have me in your life. Like, I'm a blessing, you know? So there's at least a few super sober people in here, like super sober, you know what I mean? By noon, alcoholism was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. See, that's not weakness. That's not a will issue. Alcoholism just showed back up and said, no, you're not. Go home, get your pool stick, get your cool shirt on. We're going to Lucky John's. We're going to have a good night, and I'll give you further orders. End of story. And all I had to say was, okay, okay. So I'm going home to just not drink, right? To go out and party. And there's Carl outside of my house like an Amway stalker, dude, just hanging out, just smoking a cigarette, going, hey, you know what I mean? Like, apparently we had a date, you know what I mean? And he said, get in the car. Now, I was court ordered to be with you, so I didn't know if it was illegal to tell him no. So for all intents and purposes, he kidnapped me. Okay? So, dude, I get in the car. I'm in the car with Carl, and he's like all fired up. We're going to go give it away. And I don't even know what we got. You know what I mean? And he goes, sobriety. And I'm like, dude, I don't know if you're counting, but I got like a day. Now, this is when Carl says this. Hey, listen, I don't want you listening to those people that say things like you can't give something you don't got away. They got it backwards. So you get what you give. You get what you give. You got an hour of sobriety. You better give a few minutes back if you want another hour. If you got one day and you don't give it away, you're risking the next day. You get what you give. You go to a meeting and you take the message and you give nothing to the meeting. The message is taken from you. You go to the meeting and give something to the meeting. The message is embedded in you. The sponsor is giving sobriety and receives it. And we just hope for the miracle from your higher power until you get the privilege of giving it away yourself. He says, we give it away, and we're going to go give it away right now. And you need to give a lot because you're a selfish ass. The actual word he used was ass hat. So anyways, Carl took me to a place called Charlie Street. You guys know where Charlie Street is? This is when you guys changed my life, man. See, Charlie Street is the very first treatment and detox facility in Orange County, California from 1956. It's for homeless and indigent men. I am a homeless and indigent man. When I walked in there, that smell, that look, those feelings, the sounds, you touched me, man. I couldn't believe how beautiful you were. You weren't condescending. You weren't coming down off your box. You were saying me too. You were reading the book with them. You weren't like lecturing. And I saw my brothers in there like responding and hugging you. And I remember looking at Carl going, what's this? And Carl goes, oh, those meetings are real important. I want you to go a bunch of them, but that's not what we do. Did you hear that? Meetings are not what we do, gang. See, meetings are where we come to report on what we're doing. And if you're not doing anything, shh. Now, don't get me wrong. You can have one day of sobriety and you can have a report. I got one day of sobriety. I don't believe in any of this crap. I don't even think I'm an alcoholic, but I got a book and I haven't had a drink and I'm holding on. You can have 30 days of sobriety. You can say, I'm dating him, and her. Call my sponsor once a week. I should probably do more. I've worked on 2 steps. I have anxiety. I'm not sleeping, but I'm here. You can have 2 years of sobriety. See, I have sponsees who have sponsees who have sponsees. And I have a sponsor and a God of my understanding and a sobriety that's absolutely sacred to me. I'm a completely new human being because of the daily work that I do in this program. And I suggest that all of you follow. Follow the first 164. All of those are reports. But this is not, the meetings are not where we come to talk about the transmission or the fact that she left you or that she won't. He said, what we do is bring the message of recovery to those who need it and want it, and these men cannot get to it, so we're bringing it to them. So he says, so go tell that man how you stayed sober for one day. So I walk up to this guy, he's like, hi. And he goes, how do you stay sober? And I go, I make coffee. And he's like, that's deep. And I'm like, dude, on the way home, Carl, I just remember thinking like this. You're going into this is when you changed me. That's when I joined the club. I thought to myself, maybe, just maybe, the worst parts of me could be useful in a place like this. See, maybe, just maybe, my suicidal issues, my mental issues, my drinking problems, my jail, all the lies I've told, even that dating experience with Heather, they could be useful in a place like this. Maybe, just maybe, I have a purpose in this world if I could hang out with these people, just maybe. And Carl asked me if I was thirsty. For some reason, I wasn't. And he says, we're going to stop to it. We actually went to an old-timers meeting. I was like, Get them. You know what I mean? And he goes, there's a coffee makers here. And Carl picked me up 6 days in a row and got me 6 coffee commitments. I was the effing caffeine connection for Huntington Beach, California for 2 years, dude. Let me tell you something about commitments, okay? The meeting doesn't need them. The meeting doesn't need handshakers and chair stackers and literature pointers. It doesn't need coffee makers, and it doesn't mean like, cheerleaders. The meeting doesn't need it. Get your own damn chair, bring your own damn coffee, get in a circle and tell us what you're doing. Let's go do it. See, I need it. I need the commitments. See, because guests get catered to, and they're just passing through, bro. And families got chores, and family stays. And so the moment we have commitments, we have chores, and we're more apt to stay. We need to come up with like more commitments, like that needs to be dusted. It's probably ripe with COVID. Very important commitment. You know what I'm saying? Like make up more, you know what I mean? So like he was big on making me clean ashtrays, stack chairs, shake hands, and I have issues. And also, he didn't wait for H&I qualifications. Like, if I went to the H&I committee meeting and they said, we're going to wait after 6 months and 3 months of meetings, you can actually start. No. He was like, if Dr. Bob waited 6 months to finally do H&I, there would be no AA. It's time to go give the message, man. You got one today. Let's go give it so you get another one for tomorrow. So he took me to Metropolitan State Psychiatric, Unit 407, the criminally insane lifers ward. You guys ever seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Pussies. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Chapman House, Suicidal Ward for Kids, TRC, Royal Treatment Center, Schizophrenic Wards, and where I love, and if you knew what I did for a living, you'd understand, with all branches of military service. So I went out and shared the message right out of the gate, and I started to change. And for the first 5 years, it worked swimmingly. My hair got cut. I started to match. I got a car. I had a chick that said she was mine. You know what I mean? I had a home. Things were changing, and the only thing that him and I ever argued about is he kept telling me to find God, and I kept telling him there's no such thing. Yeah, I like that good orderly direction thing, group of drunks thing. Man, you just tell me what to do, and I'll do it. He said, one day, you will have a midnight. One day, you will find that no one will answer the phone. One day, you will need something greater than you and your own willpower to get up over what that is. And then he moved to Philadelphia. And I don't know how to explain this to you because I would have to make a story up or lie to explain it to you. I just know that for whatever reason, when Carl left, there was a period of time when I just went home and watched Star Trek, and I had such a great time. I did it again the next night, and that went on for a year. So I didn't come back to AA for a year, right? From 5 to 6. The only reason I came back on my 6th year is to get a chip for my mom. Because let's face it, bros, when you drug your mother, she deserves a coin. Sorry, Mom. You know? And then I didn't come back for another year. So that was 2 meetings, and in the 7th year, I heard something I had never heard before. Looks of horror and complete silence. A beautiful commemoration speech. And also, I'll paraphrase it for you. It's kind of like when I said, hey, you guys, this is a cult. All you guys are doing is hanging out with each other. You're like, I'll go to a meeting, you go to a meeting with me, I'll call you every day, you call me every day, we'll hang out with each other every day, we'll date each other, and we'll work with each other, and loan each other money, and we'll read the same crap every single day. We'll have NAAA dodgeball tournaments, bang a tweaker. You know what I mean? Like, you guys can't you just see you just transfer addictions? You just transfer booze for like, eat this. You know what I mean? And it's all so complicated, man. You guys are hiding in here. I'm making more money in a month my dad makes in a year. I'm trekking the Sahara, man. I'm going out living life. I'm getting written in magazines, man. I'm having more adventure, more excitement in my life than I've ever had in my entire life. I have a simple program. It's a 2-step program called Get Sober, Get Some. And if anybody wants to know more about my 2-step program, you follow me out the door and I will show you my way. Drop the mic. You know what I mean? And there's a lady up front. She's like, do we clap? What do we do? She didn't know what to do. So I waited for you guys to all come. He's got the answer. You know what I mean? Like to come. You guys just laughed. So I didn't come back for 2 more years. That's 4 years, 2 meetings, no drinking. I was at a conference one time and there was a new dude in the back going, I knew it! All right. Honestly, there were some minor changes in my life. Okay? I gained 80 pounds, so I look like young Danish Santa. You know what I mean? I'm wearing stretchy pants. And, I'm not sleeping anymore. There's no more sleeping, right? I don't sleep. I have spontaneous crying fits. I just start to cry. I cry at stoplights. I cry while I'm watching AT&T commercials. I cry all the time, okay? I'm smoking 2 packs of cigarettes every single day. I'm shooting pool till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, 5, 6 nights a week at Goat Hill Tavern and Newport 5. I'm out there in the street. I'm cheating on my wife with anything that looks girlish. I'm going for it, man, on a weekly basis. If you'll let me have you, I'm going to get you. Oh, I'm starting fights. I have rage again. And I'm starting fights at the Bank of America teller line. I'm being escorted out. I'm pulling the drive-thru captain from Del Taco into my car. I'm beating his ass. I'm starting fights. I'm plotting on murdering my neighbor Brian because I have my guns again. I have a .357 and a .38 special in my glove compartment, a Winchester in my trunk, and I am not a hunter, okay? So I daydream about taking my life on a daily basis. I walk in my walk-in closet, sit in my boxer shorts, and just smoke my gun. And on top of that, I almost forgot. I'm embezzling from my own company, and I started a little escort service, and now I'm a pimp. I'm a fat, homicidal, suicidal, Santa smoking hooker pimp. Other than that, it was going pretty good. You know what I mean? So, hey, can I tell you something? Don't drink no matter what. It's probably one of the most dangerous things you can tell me. You're giving me the suggestion that I have power over my first step. I am powerless over alcohol unless I really, really want to. Is that what it says? I am powerless over alcohol unless I really, really, really buckle down and want to. How about chanting something like, call your sponsor no matter what. Find a God of your understanding no matter what. Use the steps no matter what. Go to a meeting no matter what. Sponsor someone and walk them through the 12 steps no matter what. Chant some process that will actually give me access to the power that will deliver me from my powerlessness. Because I thought you meant don't drink no matter what, good orderly direction, and I took it. Said my 3rd-step prayer, my 7th-step prayer, my serenity prayer, and I can tell you right now, I was doing every single feeling, thing, sordid action, sordid thought, sordid state that I would have done if I was drinking. For all intents and purposes, I do not deserve my chip, even though I have not had a chemical in my body during those 4 years. I was relapsed. And I will tell you, the only reason I came back is I was in my office after all night long drinking like a huge, Arizona has those 94-ounce Coke things. You know what I mean? I'm drinking a tub of Coke, smoking cigarettes all night long, crying in my jacuzzi, trying to figure out how I kill myself and not look bad in my casket. And the only thing that revived me from death was I just need to get more money. I'm going to take Sun Lovers on the water. I'm going to get a boat. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden I got fired up, and I ran off to my office. I have 86 employees. I go right past them, go in my office, shut the door, and I hide like a tweaker. And I get this, I'm like, what? And there's this little skinny kid named Kyle. He's like, hi, my name's Kyle. I just started here yesterday, and I heard you haven't had a drink in 9 years. I'm like, yeah. It's great, And he goes, hey, I think I'm an alcoholic. Can you take me to a meeting? I'm like, crap. I slammed the door in his face, dude. I know I'm a fat, homicidal, suicidal, Mormon virgin dork that is now a fat, homicidal, suicidal, Santa smoking hooker pimp. But I do not want him to know that I don't do AA. I wouldn't want to ruin my reputation. So I tell him, El Toro Club, Mission Viejo, 5:30. It's my favorite meeting. And he goes, no, I need a ride. I'm like, crap. Then it hits me. There's a strip club in the same parking lot called the Library. I'll give him a ride to his meeting, then I'll have my own meeting, and then I'll pick him up from his meeting, and I got an alibi. So I'm pretty excited about giving him a ride. I'm driving in my car, and he goes like this. He goes, will you sponsor me? I want what you have. Well, you're going to need some guns and some strippers. Because my program's complicated. He's like, you guys have been there, you'd be like, no! Right? You're like, get him in, right? I'm so glad you guys weren't there. See, because when it comes to me, alcoholism completely dominates me. But the moment he asked for help, he saved my life. Because my alcoholism doesn't run him. And in the countenance of his face, there was a freedom just for a moment. And I got this huge feeling like we need to get better right now. We need to help him. He's innocent. He saved my life. And literally, I did say this to him, I will show you my way. So So we went to the meeting, dude, and he went, I said, hey, go have a smoke, Kyle. Hey, old guy, what's your name? Mike. Mike, I'm your new sponsor. I got a little hooker thing we need to talk about. I need 2 of them book things. Okay, this is my home group. I'll make you my old sponsor. So I'm trying to, I don't remember I'm just trying to do it all. You know, as I walk up to the guy making the coffee, hey, dude, I need to make the coffee. No, I make, you're from coffee. Take that coffee, bro. I don't know if it's the coffee or the old guy or the books. We just need to get me better. We need to help Kyle, dude. We did his first step at Gold Hill Tavern over a glass of Red Bull and ice and a game of pool. We're shooting pool, and he's like, I don't think we should be in a bar. You can't hide from booze, Kyle. It's everywhere, dude. It's fucking stupid. By the time we got to his third step, we're in my backyard on my knees praying, doing the third step prayer, and I'm crying. He thinks I'm manic, but I'm back. So here's the deal, man. I turned 10 years sober, and I went to Temecula Valley to a meeting, and I was armed, and I was planning on killing the guy that was right in front of me because I didn't like the way he's looking at me. So I would invite you to not just put men and or women up on a pedestal because they have years. There are people with 18 days of sobriety that had more spiritual, more emotional, more mental sobriety than I had at that time. Now, don't get me wrong. I will not discount what the power that comes for some man who's lived for 40 years or some lady that's been here 30 years who works this thing on a daily basis and has done it absolutely honestly because they cannot help or stop the change that will inevitably happen. But that is not for all of us. And so I literally needed help. And Kip Collins is a gangster, an Irish Indian gangster for the Mexican mob. And he started Robber's Roost, and he was my grand sponsor at the time. And Kip walked right up to me, put his hands on my shoulders, and he said, when the real version of us does the steps, we get real different. When the fake version of us does the steps, nothing happens, and we drink and we die. I hope you get real soon, because I like to see you stay. And that's what I'm going to tell you right now. That's when I decided to conduct the experiment of Alcoholics Anonymous. That's when I decided to write out my 4-step and see. I want to see if I do exactly what it says in the book with somebody who says, you know, what to do. If you can change a man like me. Can you give a man like me integrity? Can you help me sleep? Can you help me change? I don't want to be a part of a hypnotist show, man. So I'll do it. Well, I'll conduct the experiment. And I don't know about I'm working on my 4-step this year. I don't know what that means. I know that if you can get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, you don't stop writing, by 3 o'clock, you can have 16 pages front and back. I know that if you read 75 and it talks about if you know who's supposed to hear it, we don't waste any time. So I walked up, Bob, you need to hear this now. And he knows me. He was like, okay. And I shared, and all those things that I would never share with anybody, all those things that prove that I'm broken. And when I got done, Bob went like this. He goes, you might need outside help. And he wasn't even talking about psychiatrists. He was talking about what a home group really is. See, home group is not your favorite meeting that you like to go to where you guys all go to Denny's and hang out with each other. Home group is a group of men and or women or both that have the purpose together to bring the message of recovery out. A home group is where you practice your 5th step. Because we're not in the advice business. I don't know if you should leave her. I have no idea if you should change that job. I can tell you if I went through that, my experience, strength, and hope on it, and give you the respect to follow suit. But I won't give you advice. I'll give you an example. I have 8 kids that I'm fully aware of. 6 daughters, damn, you know what I mean? Like God's up there, ha, ha, ha. You know what I mean? And my daughter, Tana, is my oldest. She gave me the greatest gift in my life. His name is Jackson. 4 years ago, he was born, and he is precious. I'm a mountain climber, and I took Jackson my Bjorn at the top of San Jacinto at 11,000 feet. He said, that is the curvature of the earth. You know what I mean? Like, I taught him how to walk, man. Took him to Disneyland with me. He's precious to me. 10 minutes before I was on my way to speak at Seal Beach, I got a phone call that Jackson went through the doggy door in our house, went in the backyard because Ridge left the gate open to the pool. He went in the backyard and he drowned. What's your advice? Quick. What pages should I read? What should I do? Because you're getting real quiet in here, but I've heard you in the meetings giving a lot of advice. We stopped doing that. See, if you haven't had a child die in your arms, you don't have any advice for me, do you? You could tell me I'm sorry for your loss, and if there's anything I can do for you, I'll be there for you. I will tell you right now, what I did is I went and spoke at a convention with a guy named Charles K. His son was stabbed to death tragically as a get back to him. Do you know Charles? I love him. He sponsored me through that. I called Charles the day I found out Jackson died, said, I need you to sponsor me through this. And he walked me through it and showed me grief recovery. Now, if you ever have that experience or if you're stressed with it, you call me. Because I have the experience, strength, and hope of taking my family through that. You got that? So if you have a home group and you keep tight, you share in a general way all the time, you do not know that there is experience, strength, and hope like a library all over you. Crime and sobriety, divorce and sobriety, infidelity. When they knock on the door and go, you have a daughter, and it's not from her. All those things that can occur in your life, cancer and sobriety, losing a parent in sobriety, all the things, losing your job, all those things that happen in sobriety, we have gone through it with traditions and steps and God. And how do you know who to go to? So that's what a home group's about. Practicing my fifth step. And I started to inventory, and I use the word continue on a daily basis. I wrote my fourth step out. I don't know how you do your nightly 11 step, but I write it out. And if I have a resentment, I 4-column it. If I have a fear inventory, I write it out. And I like that question where it says, what could you have done better? There's a good end to that rainbow. That daughter of mine, she's sober today. Is that cool? That daughter of mine has given me the birth, a new boy, Elijah. He'll be born this December. Yeah. Just share a couple more things and I'll shut up real quick. That mom of mine, 2005, my mom called me on the phone. I have sponsees who have sponsees now. I'm telling the truth. I notice I'm crying at Toy Story 2. What's happening to me, man? I'm doing the right thing because it's the right thing. I'm getting up in the morning and I'm not making up fake crap. I'm not sharing your story. I'm sharing mine. I'm telling the truth. And all of a sudden things are blossoming in my life. And I get this phone call from my mom. She says she's got stage 4 cancer. My mom says she's going to die. She's only got 6 months to live. She has no money, no place to live, and she has no vehicle. Everything burned up in a fire. I can finally make amends with my mother, so I bring her into my home. I combed my mom's wig, and I rubbed her feet. And I told my mom, no matter how short your days are, no matter how long your days are, I will be here for you. You're done, and I will hold you when you transition. You guys understand how beautiful that was? I could finally be a son to my mom and give her something more than just a chip. But here's the problem. They call it a miracle healing, bro. Dude, it's been 17 years. Chick's still here. She's I only drugged her like 5 times. You know what I mean? Like, it's unfair, dude. I've given her 4 cars. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, iPhone 13. You know what I mean? My mom's living like a 13-year-old. I got stage 4 cancer while my mom was in my house. I got melanoma that went in my bloodstream and went into my lymph nodes and up into my voice box. That's why I talk so sassy, because I've had portions of my voice box removed, right? And when I got out of the doctor's office, I was like, holy crap, man, my mom's dying in my house. I just did my financial amends and gave every penny I have away to pay for all these things. I'm doing all the work. I'm conducting the experiment, and this is what my God does to me, you know? So I call my sponsor to whine, and he doesn't answer. So then I call my grand sponsor. He doesn't answer. I call my great-grand sponsor. He doesn't answer. I get to my great-great-grand sponsor. Dude, when you get to great-great-grand sponsor, that means old as hell. I called a 92-year-old man named Harry, and I said, Harry, I just found out I got cancer. I'm going to die. He goes, me too. When you going? Old people, they're rude, dude. And this is what Harry says to me. You ready for this? This is what Harry says. Hey, stop. What time is it? I said, it's noon. What do you normally do at noon? Eat lunch? Eat lunch. Look where your feet are. Everybody look where your feet are right now. Right now, exactly where your feet are. Right at this moment, you have all the tools, all the traditions, all the steps, all the power, all the fellowship, everything you need to cope with where your feet are right now. And the moment you take a step, new powers, new tools will be waiting for you. And then we have to go through these tragedies that are beyond us so that we can see the proof and existence of a power greater than ourselves. We have to have them. One person at one time in a meeting made the mistake of asking me, what do you think God is? And I said, I won't talk about you what I think God is in a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. You want to know what I think, you can talk to me outside the meeting, but here I'll just tell you it's a power. But I will tell you this, it's as dependable as gravity. And you can get up on a roof, you jump, you fall, bro. Ready for this? Define it wrong. See if you hover. Hope magical. Oh, shit. If you don't know what it is, it doesn't work. That's called universal law. And the dependable jumping is the steps. The falling comes from the power of a God, a higher power greater than ourselves. What that is, you can figure it out. But if you're wrong, it doesn't stop the magic. So there's no point debating it, is there? You know? There's a while back, my daughter Jillian, she's my middle child. I was up in the Sioux Nation up in Northwest Canada sharing my story. And my daughter cut her wrists and tried to hang herself. And they took her to Riverside Mental Health, and they were thinking schizophrenia. Sound familiar? So I rushed home, man. I got my daughter, and I said, hey, before you take all that medicine, why don't you go with me? I'm going to Phoenix to speak at a Crystal Meth Anonymous convention. Why don't you come with me? I think it'll be a fast meeting. Hey, man, you know what? I learned how to be a dad by being a sponsor. Do you know if you give your kids like 1 hour a week, face-to-face, constant attention. You tell them the truth. Be a lighthouse, not a warden. Talk to them on a daily basis. Keep real, keep current. Take them on special events that are important to you. Do that bonding. If you treated your child as good as you treat your sponsees, your children would grow up amazing. All I did is tell my daughter what some of the things that I went through when I was a kid that made me want to die. And she just said, I like girls. I want hell. Me too, bro. Come on. Let's go to Hooters. Well, I love you guys. Man, I'm going to tell you right now, without question, it's like I'm nowhere close to being like anything. I'm not a big deal. I'm not a little deal. You know, I really am not. I'm not conceited, and I'm not insecure. I'm the best version of me I've ever been. I'm growing on a daily basis. It's been decades now, and I understand what the higher power means. I understand what 12-step means. I understand the power of traditions. In my house, it'll get you to go to Mimi's Cafe, bro. Because I got 6 chicks, so when we do a group conscience, it's like always, it's like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, but I will tell you this. I have come to believe that I think that if there is a God, I was up here before I came down here, and he went like this to me. He went, hey, man, would you go down to earth for me? And I said, yeah, God, I love you so much. I would do that for you, 100%. He goes, but here's the problem, man. When you go down there, I'm gonna give you a hard life. You're going to get touched wrong. You're going to get talked to wrong. You're going to be an alcoholic. You're going to make some decisions that are going to hurt and break you. People are going to reject you. You're going to feel like you can't make it. Would you do that for me? And I said, yeah, I'll do that for you, God. And he said, but don't worry. Right at the right moment, I'm going to send an angel. I'm going to send people who will come right to you, and they're going to hold you, and they're going to love you, man. They're going to bring you out of that darkness. They're going to wake you up to the fact that you're more, that your life can be more. And then your life is going to turn to a purpose-driven heaven on earth. And I went, oh, wow, God, that's great, because that was getting kind of bleak. And then he looked me straight in the face, and he went like this, and when you get there, can you bring my kids home? Because they'll only listen to you, man. I don't believe alcoholism's a curse. I don't believe it's a disease. I don't believe it's a punishment. I believe it's a purpose-driven path, and my higher power trusts us all. He believed that we could all rise above if we stuck together, if we use the steps, and if we talk to him. And I really hope you guys just remember to do just this one thing tonight. Read a little, write a little, pray a little, help a little, and then let's all go to bed in the right bed. Thanks, man.